Oh, yep, there we go.
And we're live.
I think so. Yeah. Let me just check.
You can hear the stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I was on this bit. It's just like fucking around. It's got like it's working. It's the internet working. It says it's live there. YouTube hasn't caught up yet. Let's send a tweet.
So does if people click on the link, does it take them to that YouTube thing?
Oh, you can watch it live on YouTube, or you can watch it live with this thing. So there it is. But the YouTube delayed. So I just want to make sure that the sound was working, and the sound is working because we had that where the sound didn't work 1 week.
Gotcha.
And there we go. And we better share this link here as well on the page. Oh, what did I do? Fuck. Oh, there we go. So a copy of all the housekeeping. We are live. Well, that's not how you spell that. Let's start talking about stuff.
Start talking nonsense.
So what's that? Hello. Let's do this. So welcome to episode whatever. 6, 5, 4, 5, 2, 3. I don't know what episode it is, but this is the Sorenzo Prop Show, your show where I come on the internet and talk rubbish about props and costumes and convention and stuff like that. And this week we've got live guests in the studio, which is always a lot more fun. We've got Kris from is it just Asakura or
Asakura?
Asakura Cosplay?
It was Asakura Cosplay for a while,
right?
And then I ditched the cosplay part because a lot of people were doing it at the time,
right?
And it made you seem more of a thing, than just being cosplay.
Yeah, because what happens if you branch out and decide you want to get into like haberdashery or something like that?
Yeah, and I want to go into like wild elephant racing.
Yeah,
and then and then I'm just limiting my choices here.
Excellent. So we are going to. I think we should have. We've got like 3 viewers already.
Hey.
So hi, Mom.
Hey.
Love you.
I hope
Is your mom watching as well?
I have no idea. Let's hope so.
Okay. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll have a wee bit of chat, and then hopefully some people will start asking some questions, which will appear there, and hopefully we can answer those questions. If they don't have questions, it's just us talking about wild elephant racing, basically, which will be a lot of fun. So let's find out a little bit more about you, because people know a lot about me, but they don't know a lot about you.
Sweet.
So yeah. If you're well, now they would do the housekeeping later. Let's talk about you. So, Asakura Cosplay, Wild Elephant Racing. How did you get into it? What started? When did it all begin? What did you first tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I used to be really into anime, cartoons, and not so much comics when I was younger, but anything that was accessible on telly. So animated Batman series, Spider-Man, the usuals that Cartoon Network and basic Sky Television in the UK would let you watch. Grew out of it, but everyone goes through that phase in high school when they really want to be cool. Yep. So they ditch all that. So I go back into it.
Did you pretend to ditch it?
I pretended to ditch it. I still played Yu-Gi-Oh for most of those years, and we used to sneak off to the market in Badgate, and I always used to wear a hoodie and pray to God that no one in the school bus saw me playing Yu-Gi-Oh at the weekend. So that was pretty good. But yeah, so like I got back into it in like 2009 or 2010. I was working in HMB, so it was dead easy for me to get like anime on DVD and stuff. So I got back anime, and I was at college with Rosie, little record girl, and she was like, "Oh, there's a convention happening in Edinburgh. You should come along." And I was like, "That's not me. Like that's not my thing." Like, but it was a confidence and an insecurity thing rather than that. Cool.
Okay. When was this started? Did you say?
That was Okinawa in 2010.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I decided, like, okay, right, let's go along. And this was you could tell it was newbie because that's April that we found out about it. The convention was in November. So that's like either end of the calendar. And I was still making cosplay the night before.
Okay.
And I was like, what, 7 months apart?
And what was that?
I done Renji, where the whole Renji thing comes from on Facebook, so people could find me, but Facebook stopped me changing my name.
Here we go. Come as close to the camera.
Still there.
I'm not sure if the volume is good.
Oh, okay. I mean, to talk up a bit.
Yeah. Just to make sure.
So yeah, so we kind of just went to that, and I wasn't really sure what to expect, but it was great. There was like loads of people there. I made loads of friends, people that I'm still friends with now. And yeah, it was like a complete different.
Was this the Okinawa that was in Edinburgh? Was it?
Yeah, it was in Edinburgh. It was in one of the Hiltons.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was insane, man. It was like a totally different culture. I'd never been exposed to anything like that before. But it was like, you know, you're so used to, you live in this bubble of geekiness, and then suddenly you're in a room with like 300-400 other people that live in that bubble, and you're like, how do these people know about this stuff? I thought it was just me that lived under a rock. Yeah. So then I was hooked, man. And then yeah, cosplay happened a little bit later. I kind of, because I felt like you were missing out. Like you would go on the Friday in casual clothes, and you're like, geez, I feel like the odd one out here, because everyone's like dressed up and having fun. So and then it was like conventions like Kitri du Lac, Iacon, went to MCM for the first time in London the following year. Yeah. But everything was like really low key, budget costumes. Pretty much purchased everything out of the whole ensemble.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, but it was fun though. Yeah. It was like, and it was dead simple. But you didn't know anyone, so you went to these events and you were there with like maybe 3-4 people, and they were the only people you really spoke to for the whole weekend.
Yeah. And you like, all stuck together.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was, but it felt like a holiday. Yeah. As opposed to now, where it's just a big weekend of stress and clock watching.
Yeah, it can be. Well, as soon as you get there and you have a drink, you're all good.
Yeah. And you hit the pub at 11 a.m. and you're good.
That's the way forward. That's the way forward.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it started. By accident, really.
Brilliant.
But yeah.
So that was 2010. So you were on your
5th year of it. 5 years of conventions and stuff. Yeah, it was good.
You're an old timer.
Oh.
You're an old timer.
Yeah, I'm still minced though.
Brilliant. And in your time, what cosplays have you done? Because I know I've seen you over the last year or so since we started hanging out.
Yeah.
But go through a list of what you've done a lot of anime stuff, which is not my area of expertise.
Yeah, I think it was kind of. I don't think I've done as much anime stuff as I'd like to, which is kind of annoying because the thing I like most about cosplay is colorful costumes.
Right.
And as soon as I started getting into comics, everything's black and red and blue and dark, man. So, when I first started out, the first costume that I really enjoyed and kind of put everything together for was like the Great Saiyaman from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah.
Gohan's little alter ego when he goes to high school, and he doesn't want anyone to know he's got superpowers, so he makes like a superhero get up, and it's totally nerdy.
Right.
And I got slagged rotten for it, but like in a funny way. So
yeah.
So that was kind of the first one I'd done, and that was all purchased from, I remember it was some seller in like, off eBay.
Right.
And came over, kind of standard chat, black Zentai suit. I got a couple of friends. I can't remember what they had a commissions thing. I don't know if it's still going. And they made the helmet for me, which was really sweet. And it was the first time that was the first costume that put me like out of comfort zone. It was Saiyaman. After that, all the costumes were really few and far between, because it was more, at that point, it was like putting a costume together because I wanted something to go to an event, as opposed to actually being into cosplay as much. You know what I mean? So Saiyaman was the first one, and to be honest,
did you feel you had to have a cosplay to go to an event?
Yeah, it was because I felt when I went to Okinawa in 2010, I just Renji, and it was really bad, and I like put red spray hair dye in my hair, and it was awful. I looked at pictures. Yeah, man. At the time, I felt like the dog's bollocks, but it's so cringy to watch. I share my page every now and then, and it just makes me cringe. But yeah, so like that, I didn't do Saiyaman until about 2 years later, because everything in between was just like, I had some bleach robes, and I'd done Aizen about 8 times because I had a bit of a curly hair and a bit of a beard, and I was like, yeah, we'll go for it. So yeah, Saiyaman was kind of the first one that felt proper. We've done some stuff from Prince of Tennis, because we were part of a group. We were at the back of Kitri du Lac playing tennis, and we kept hitting cars. That wasn't fun. We got shouted a lot, but it was a good half hour of entertainment in our day. I've done Team Magma from Pokemon, which my friend A helped me make.
Everything you said for the last 5 minutes, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's just pretty much.
That's very good. You're one of those weird kids that I have no idea what's going on, but you're having a great time over there.
The colorful people over there, and it's like nothing over there. It's too bright for me. God, I can't even remember what else I'd done that year. I think it kind of slowed down. I went to was that 2012? To be honest, I think I'd done a Saiyaman again. Yeah. Because it was the only thing I'd done. I really had no idea about making anything. It was quite a daunting thing to like try and get into making stuff. Even now, I can't sew. Yeah. Like I can't use a sew. I tried to use a sewing machine, and it was just ended horribly. And I think that's jaded me from using it again. So then 2013 was the first year that I started kind of trying to make some stuff. That was the first year. I think at the start of 2013, what went down convention-wise, because I don't think there was a Kitri du Lac in 2013.
I've
I
not
don't think
been
so.
to Japan yet, so I don't know much about her history. But we're starting to get questions.
We're getting
coming in,
questions.
which is
Sweet.
quite,
So I can stop. I can
which
stop.
is quite nice because
That's nonsense.
you've got lots of cosplays, which I've realised because I've only seen you do like a couple last year.
Yeah,
basically.
a lot of this stuff to begin with was just really bad.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
So there's not much photographic evidence of it.
Yeah, just stepped away from
fair
it.
enough. Because yeah, we've got some viewers. We've got 10 viewers. We broke our
There it is. Wait, high five.
Here we go.
I thought I was going to get left hanging there. That's not.
My mum and all her friends.
Yes, it's our extended family.
So yeah, questions are coming in,
Sweet.
and people are. I don't know where they're asking questions, but I'm getting email questions. But guys, there's a little. I don't know how you actually get to from where you're watching, but there's like a Q&A app, like a little speech bubble with a Q and A written in it, and you can ask questions there, and they come in like straight away to my screen. But we had some questions come in, and what's that? Kea Anna wants to know when are you going to cosplay Archer, bitch?
Okay, so let me give you some background.
No, that's bitch with a question mark.
It's bitch with a question mark. So it's questionable whether or not. Other people may disagree, but okay, so let me give you some context for this question.
Okay.
So we decided we were going to do an Archer group for the Lapse, which happened in November.
Yeah.
But you didn't. November. But I didn't because when we went to Expo, I think, remember you guys were in the Fox and I rocked up and suddenly I had a shaved head?
Yes.
Because we decided at Expo that it was a really good idea to shave my head because my hair was going down.
Yeah, I remember you thinking that it wasn't a very good idea.
It wasn't a very good idea at all. And we'd had a couple of drinks and I had a beard clipper, streamer, whatever. But I didn't have my attachments, and but then at that point I was really set on shaving my, well, not shaving my head, but cutting my hair. So my friend Ashley was like, "Yeah, okay, let's just shave it and let's see what happens." And I think the picture went online. The time it took for us to leave the hotel to walk to the XL, and we were in the Premier Inn, so 15 minutes, 20 minutes of a walk. And I get a message from Kyle like, "How are you going to do Archer?" Because I was just going to like part my hair, and I stood there with my phone, like. I've just been the only thing I was excited for next month.
So how long is your hair now?
It's kind of long.
Soon, Kyle.
Yeah, so as soon as the question,
there is the answer.
We can do this whole thing.
There you go.
Literally.
So
it's total sweat.
we've got. So they keep on coming through email. I wonder where people are asking these questions. I still don't understand this whole Google Hangout. But you should go use the Q&A app because that's easy for me to do. I don't have to like refresh emails and stuff.
And we find out we got lots of questions that we don't know where they are.
No, don't worry, we'll get there. So I just want to get them in order.
I have looking at my phone, we have a message that says there's no chat showing in Google Plus for some reason. So some people are watching on YouTube.
There's no, but we're live.
So I don't know if it's a link thing.
No, we're live. It says,
well, there's it looks like there's comments coming in there, right?
Oh, there's comments coming in there. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, the YouTube is there, and yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why it's not coming up here then.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We're having fun.
Maybe that's just not updated properly.
We can't really start. So there's nothing in Google Plus. I don't know how it works in you, and I can just see what's happening on my end. But yeah, what was the next question? So yeah, we kind of touched on this. What was your most challenging cosplay, mentally or physically, and how did you overcome the problems faced? Because cosplay is a chore, man. It's not a fun hobby sometimes.
When I first got into it, and this was well before we became friends.
Yeah.
I was pretty overweight. I mean, I'm still quite podgy, but in comparison to what I was, man, I was pretty overweight. And the biggest thing I hated, and it was when a lot. I mean, Saiyaman, like I said, was like the first costume that I put together from like commissioned pieces. And the one thing that always did me was how I looked. Not how the costume looked, but how I looked.
Okay.
So the biggest thing that took its toll on me was like not being as much of a chubby.
Okay.
But then I feel really contradictory because I've got a view that like it doesn't matter what your body shape is, you should cosplay. Sure. If you want to do a character, doesn't matter what your skin color is, doesn't matter what height you are, doesn't matter what weight you are, you should do it. But then at the same time, I'm beating myself up for not looking like things. So it's a whole mess going on in there. But yeah, there was a couple of costumes. I mean, the first time I'd done Nightwing, I had lots of mixed feelings about it. When I tried everything on at home, again, I got this commission from Zentai because again, I can't go. Yeah. And they make pretty good Zentai suits actually. I'm a fan of their stuff. I get quite a lot of stuff made from them. Like, and I first put it on, and it was the first time. I mean, I just didn't even touch Zentai suits for a while. Like, I wanted to do Spider-Man since I can't remember, but I just didn't touch it because I hated the way I looked and I wasn't really comfortable with it. So the first time I got Nightwing, it was very stressful, and it kind of put me well in my comfort zone. wearing that for the first time. As far as making things go, I remember we done me and like one of my friends, we done Angemon. We made it in about 4 days, I think. I mean, she was kind of working on her stuff, but like, we done Angemon from Digimon. You know the thing I done with the wings?
Right. Okay, that's what I was thinking it was.
That was pretty.
So that's on the poster for this show.
Yeah. It's in the link. Yeah. So like the Zentai suit was purchased as like the kind of base. And then everything else was made out of Warbler. The only time I'd used Warbler before was making my first Nightwing mask. So I kind of went into that. I bought like a massive roll and kind of made some templates and just went for it.
Yeah.
When we made the helmet was like, she gave me quite a lot of help with that. We basically, cling filmed up my face, my head. We masking taped it.
Yep.
We drew a design, we foamed, and then put the Warbler straight onto my head, which was a learning curve, man. I said I'd never do it again, but then when I eventually done Spider-Man, we hot glued the lenses while I was wearing the mask as well. I was cling filmed up, but there wasn't enough cling film to stop my face getting really warm.
Really.
Well, you'd think 6 layers of cling film is quite a lot.
Yeah, it's just going to melt.
Until your face starts burning up.
Oh, that's a learn.
Yeah, Angemon was pretty, especially because we had like 3 days to make it, or three or 4 days it was.
Yeah.
And we were cutting out the wings from foam board in our hotel room at KittyCon. And the first time out, we put it all together. I mean, she like helped me like put it all on, because I had like the harness for the wings was like a wooden square, which we drilled 8 holes into, fed screws through, and then that was basically elastic. We bought elastic to try and put it on my arms until we realized it wasn't long enough, so I had to put the elastic around my neck. Hashtag cosplay. And then the wings, we had to put 2 holes in, and then put like the top set of wings, then the middle set of wings, and then that. But as you put the holes through the Zentai suit, which was zipped from my butt to the top of my head, my movement was limited to like
through the Zentai suit.
Yeah, and I couldn't move.
Which is like wafer thin material.
Yeah, exactly. So I was pretty much walking a bit like this. So we put it all together that morning. So that was the most mentally and physically straining cosplay, I think.
Excellent.
In terms of making things.
But you got there.
We got,
we got.
Well, no, yeah, I worked to Dee Con as well.
All right,
actually.
okay.
We got maybe
Where
about
you first.
That was a KittyCon. KittyCon, where the pictures from.
Right. So we've got another question from Paul Martin, which you've probably answered, is do you make your own cosplay or have someone to do it?
Yeah, I get quite a lot of stuff commissioned.
You started off.
Yeah, when I started off, it was all kind of pre-made costumes from sellers. So on eBay, I mean, I think it was still kind of commissions. They would have like an image up or like a stock one that they've made, and then you would provide the measurements and everything.
Yeah.
As it changed, as I got more into comics, it was more kind of piecing things together. So you would maybe buy like a base suit, or you'd buy a Zentai suit or something. And then I kind of branched into making like gauntlets and stuff, like small time projects that I knew I'd manage.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, I still wanted to be the character, and I still wanted to, wear it to an event. Kind of got to the point where I remember, I mean, I got quite a lot of masks from Tigerstone. And I remember first seeing their masks and thinking, oh, it's a nightmare that I can't make stuff that looks that good. And then I was still trying to make stuff.
I can't make stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, the stuff's incredible.
Yeah.
And I went through a phase of like trying to like make Warbler masks. Yeah. And it's just,
I think it's the best material.
It's a horrible. You basically make your shape and then you heat it up and put it on your face. I damage my face a lot. Because I will put like melting hot materials onto my face. Like I probably shouldn't do that. And then you press it in, and then you go stand outside because it's cold. Yeah. And get your head back. But after a while, I was kind of like, well, you know what? It looks terrible. So I'm gonna just buy something from support a company that are making good commissions. Because then you look good. You're doing some advertising for them, which is nice. But then your finished product's nice. And I mean, I kind of got to the point where I was like, if I can't make something, or if I'm gonna make something that looks terrible, if I want the finished output to look good, like why not pay for someone else to do it? Like, I wouldn't. I mean, if I was like looking at like another cosplay and was like, oh, you've got 2 circumstances, either looks amazing, or you're like, oh, I'm not quite sure if I like how it looks. Yeah. If they turn around and go, I made it, that doesn't necessarily make you go, oh, well, that's a little bit better than I thought it was originally because you made it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whereas if something looks amazing and they say they made it, you're like, and then that's where the impressed comes in. Yeah. So I'd rather not be like, I know it looks a bit shit, but I made it. Yeah. And then people are like, oh, it's okay then. You know what I mean? So like, oh, bless. Yeah, totally. So like, if I'm terrible at making something, why not buy a commission?
I'm going to tangent away really quickly and then come back because Kitri du Lac has just messaged in saying that she had to sign in to Google Plus to use the Q&A app, and that's how it works.
Oh, okay. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, but we are live. So the question, and then I can answer the question, and then she'll get a notification saying the question has been answered.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I know. That's why I want to use it.
So then if they've been away making a brew because they thought we were ignoring them, and then they come back and they get a notification, they'll have to rewatch it on YouTube later.
That's it. Yeah,
that's it.
I forgot to mention. If you're just tuning in now, you can watch later on YouTube, where you can see all this nonsense again. But yeah, these messages still keep coming in.
Stuff as well. I don't know what it is, though.
You're getting stuff as well. But yeah, I was going to come back to what I was talking about there, and making your own cosplays, and being involved in cosplay. Does it really matter if you make it or if you just buy something? Because we had a guy on the show, was tuning to the show last week, the last show, and he was saying he was going down to MCM, and it was his first time. He was a bit nervous about getting into cosplay, and I told him to basically do it.
Yeah, just go for it.
Even if you went into a shop and picked up a mask and just wore a t-shirt and wore a mask and t-shirt, just something simple, because he's going to get down there and he's going to realize that everything is in cosplay, having a great time. And
exactly.
Some are going to be people who've just literally put something together the night before, and some are going to be people who spent weeks and months working on something. Sure. But it's not about the level of skill you have, the amount of money you have, who you can commission. It's all about you being comfortable in a costume and just hanging out and having a laugh. And some of the most happiest cosplayers are the ones that are just sticking about with something simple that they've made.
I think it's incredibly situational. Because I've had moments where I made my Nightwing bracers, or gods, or whatever you guys want to call them. And I remember I got loads of good feedback on it, and lots of people asking me how I made them and stuff, and I was really proud of them. But then when I put together Red Hood for last MCM, which was I bought the t-shirt off Red Bull, and then I got the jacket in TK Maxx or something. Tiger Stone made the mask and everything, and I was had just as much fun being him for a day than I did Nightwing. So I think it depends what you want out of it, because I don't think there's anything wrong with people just buying shop bought stuff. If they just want to be in a costume, just having fun and everything, there's absolutely no then I think obviously you then don't say that people that do make their own stuff, it's not like it's any different for them. But it's completely situational.
It depends, because a lot of people who make their own stuff, and I've been a victim of sometimes, particularly make really big stuff. Cons aren't really fun when you're carried around. You've spoken about that with your cosplay with the wings, and it's you spent months and it looks amazing, it looks great in a photo shoot. You can't actually just run into the pub and have a pint and dance and stuff like that. So you kind of have to play it off. When I
took Kanjo on the Kitakon, we put it on just before the masquerade. I went up and basically I registered a day late, so I had to email them and say, hey, I've been a total bell end. Can I please be in the masquerade? Here's my details. And they were like, cool, fine. When I turned up on the day, they were like, oh, we don't have you on our list. And I was like, oh, great. So I got put last. And I think I was backstage for about 4 hours. And because I couldn't move, I couldn't sit. So I just had to kind of stand there. I got 30 seconds to a minute on stage, came off stage, and managed to walk less than 100 feet, because we were doing a panel on fitness and body confidence and stuff. And I had to squat through door frames, and as soon as we got in there, I was just take it all off, because it was a nightmare to walk about in. So I think you're right. I think, and again, that's where it comes to being situational. If you're making something impressive because you're going to be in a competition, or you're making something impressive to kind of kick about, and then it's I know I keep saying it, but I think it comes down to being situational. I don't think there's a right or a wrong or anything on either of the spectrum. I just think as long as you're having fun doing what you're doing, there's nothing wrong with it, because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's certainly something I'd like to get better at. I think I'd take more pride in something if it looked good and I made it. But I wouldn't be comfortable with making something and it looking terrible. And then, I know everyone goes through that. It's a total pain in the arse way to be, because then you're never going to get anything done, right?
Well, this is partly my problem when it comes to cosplay, because I did a few last year and no one near as much I wanted to do. But you've seen my work, and it's always I'm never happy. You saw what happened down there in the workshop today. I spent 2 weeks trying to get these helmets molded, and it's just this tiny little imperfection. I will spend another week, sanding away, getting
that little bit.
This one little bit. I'm not even going to talk about the Red Hood helmet for the last 10 days. Absolutely driving me crazy. But when it comes to cosplay, I get reference image and I look at something and I'm right, I have to recreate this 100%.
Sure.
And I can't do 99%. I have to do 100%. And that can really, really get a bit frustrating because then I don't do cosplays. So what I'm trying to do this year is to try and do more, quick fire things.
Yeah.
Put something together that's, only spend, 30, 40 quid. Buy things off eBay and put them together and try and do my own sort of original things, not spend hundreds of hours creating something. I do want to do the big cosplays and I do want to enter events and have awesome costumes, but I also want to be able to have fun and have something new and fresh for the big conventions.
Yeah, of course.
So I have planned a couple of like quick fire things, just like I did the Truth last week, which I need to give you guys the video. I must edit that. Sorry, the video will come soon this week. I promise. But I want to do sort of a one-day cosplay where I can just sort of run into town, buy a few bits and pieces, and then show up at con.
Yeah.
This is what I did.
Yeah, because I mean, like for me personally, one of my favorite bits is putting everything on and having like a finished product.
Yeah.
And I think it's just something that's going to like it obviously evolves with different people, and obviously your aspirations and your what does it for you is going to evolve and change as you kind of progress it more as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's always fun now. I mean, because I always try to have a go at like making the props and stuff. Yeah. Obviously, if it's something that I can get that's inexpensive and I can get it commissioned, then I'm going to go for it. Like the masks, for example. Like I'd never be able to make something that matched that quality. But like putting all that stuff together and having like a kind of finished product is probably the most exciting part. Especially when I've done Red Hood, because I was doing this kind of mashup version of Arkham Knight, which obviously isn't out yet, and he has like a very specific looking jacket. And he's got like a new helmet. I don't know if you've seen it. It kind of looks Daft Punky.
Really?
Yeah. From the new game. And then he's got the red hoodie on, and the hood comes up and everything. Obviously, I didn't have the mask, so I was like, right, okay, well, let's take it. Eye mask. We're gonna mix it up a bit. Yeah. But that was like, I remember finding that jacket, and I don't think I've ever been like as happy like finishing a prop than I did the moment I put on that jacket and was like, this is the jacket. Yeah. And then you just have that like excitement. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's never going to happen with making something, but
you've seen my Red Hood jacket.
Yeah, I've seen a jacket like that.
It's so like a 1980s U.S. Air Force fighter pilot jacket.
I remember I was in Camden on the market, and they have a massive leather jacket like place stall room, like whatever it is, and it was jackets for days. And everything was pretty cheap because they were all like second hand, so it was like £10 to £35 was like the price range. And I remember going around just looking for that type of jacket. And I was just like, I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh man,
I was really gutted.
Yeah. Paul had a sort of a follow-up question and statement. So we kind of covered this earlier on, where you started rambling about how many cosplays you've done. Quite a lot is the answer.
Less than 20.
Less than 20. So he's worn quite a lot. And Paul says he will be wearing his first cosplay this year, and he's 45.
Beast.
And I think that's amazing, because
that is amazing.
Last week, I'm not sure if it was Paul, it was another guy who was on the older side, and I think he was like 40. He said it was his first time he's going to MCM. And last year was his first time cosplaying, and he really enjoyed it. Awesome. And of course, he went and he was a little bit sort of shy and a little bit nervous, and then after 5 minutes, he was like, "Hey!" So it's all brilliant. So we're getting some questions coming in now. It's Kitri du Lac, who is another Glasgow-based cosplayer. You should check there. By the way, everything that we talk about, if there's like names and links and products that we talk about, we'll be putting them in the description of the YouTube video later on tonight. So let me get this question out. Okay, question time. Going back to the wings mentioned, did you find them heavy, uncomfortable, or difficult to wear, or was it not too bad? Any tips on keeping wings light and comfortable?
See, I've not made a follow-up here yet, so I don't know. I wouldn't be able to say what had worked differently, but I mean, I planned on doing them because we took them to MCM, and my ex-girlfriend was helping me put them on, and we got one side on, and a gust of wind hit us, and they snapped. And I was like, okay, I'm going back to get changed.
I've seen that.
So I think from what I didn't like about them, a good harness is important and it's comfortable. Having a block of wood around your neck with some elastic was probably not my best idea. So I wasn't like choking or anything, because the wings weren't as heavy. Yeah. Plus, like the holes through the Zentai suit, I think took a bit of the pressure off. But yeah, I would say a good harness is something that's important, something comfortable that you can wear, something that's like easy to get on as well. Yeah. Because if you're making a costume, obviously you have to think about how that's going to fit in with what you're wearing. Yeah. And then I think if you're going to make wings, if it's possible to make them out of something that you can bend or something that you can like roll up or pack so that they're easier to travel with.
Yeah.
Because we had these out of foam board, so like you couldn't, there was no give. There was absolutely no give. And we had, they were basically like hot glued together, like the main big part of the wing and then like the smaller bit in front of it.
Yeah.
So I had 6 pieces of those. And they were probably about that size, maybe, in total. And I just had to like double bin bag them, wrap them up with masking tape, and then I masking taped that to my suitcase.
Yeah. So
that it was easy, but it was a nightmare. I was constantly checking them, making sure the edges weren't bent and everything, and it was an absolute nightmare. So I think if I'm gonna read them, I'm gonna try. I don't want to make them out of feathers because I wanted it to look cartoony rather than more realistic. I think that's the way I'm gonna have to do it. Or someone mentioned like felt or what's the word? Stiffened felt, so that it's not.
Starch it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they were meaning. So I haven't seen anything on it. But
don't know. Like I've been in contact with people about making wings, and you're going to have a playoff because you're not going to get something that is foldable and compact, that is lightweight and rigid enough that it won't snap. So you're going to
especially if you're going for accuracy.
You're going to have to decide. And if you're going for something that's like absolutely massive out like that, it's probably going to be a bit heavy. If it's made out of a material that if you snap it with your hands, well, you're not going to have a good time. But I just think wings would be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, I wouldn't rush to make another set.
I don't think you want a very tight deadline for them, to be honest. I think you want plenty of time.
You definitely want to start them 3 days before.
Yeah, that's probably the best idea.
That's my advice for making some.
So yeah, thank you for that. Kitri du Lac. We've got some more questions. I think someone asked earlier on, but I forgot about it. So this is Jody is tuning in. Hey Jody, thanks for tuning in. What's your dream? Big dream cosplay. I think this is sort of like if time and money was no object.
And I was skilled. I think like from Okinawa 2010, this was the dream, and I think it always will be. You play Soul Calibur?
I'm familiar.
Okay, can I beat them up type? Game?
Yeah.
Okay, Soul Calibur 2, going for Nightmare's outfit.
Right.
Nightmare was like, I mean, it's been so long since I played the game, and I didn't really play any follow-ups. But essentially, like Soul Calibur is it's a kind of war between good and evil, and it's all like weapons based. And there's a thing called the Soul. I think it's just the Soul Calibur is like the good one. I don't want to like lose nerd points if I get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure the good one's the Soul Calibur, and the bad one's called the Soul Edge.
So which one do you want to do?
Go with Nightmare.
Nightmare. You keep talking because
okay.
Otherwise,
I think it's maybe got a K in it as a knight.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how it goes.
That sounds cool.
It's retro, right? Wait till you see this guy though. He's incredible.
I would screen share it, but every time I've screen shared the last time, it hasn't worked. So I don't want to get just a blanket. So Soul
Calibur. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Let's have a look at what this guy looks like.
And if anyone wants to Google this while we're going for it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. Like he looks. So this is the Soul Edge. So this is like a bad sword, right? And it has like the eye moves and everything, and it's incredible. So he's basically a knight called Siegfried. You can also play in the game, right? And he basically gets like possessed or kind of controlled or whatever by soul, and it like transforms.
Oh my god, that's incredible!
It looks amazing, isn't it? That's from like the 4th or the 5th game, I think. But from the 2nd game, that one there is the one with like the big massive arm.
Let's try screen share quickly and see if it works. I don't know if it'll actually work. Might just go blank screen, but that's Nightmare right there. It's not with a K at all. That's what it looks like. I don't know. I'm gonna stop quickly just in case that doesn't work.
In case no one can see.
But yeah,
we'll put a link.
Yeah, we'll put a link. We'll put a link to that. But that is.
I'd love to make it with like the moving eye. If it could work, be something that could like rotate or something.
You got some cash?
No cash.
That is actually a.
It looks amazing though, right?
All right, that's going on my list of stuff I want to build.
We'll make it happen, and
somebody needs to pay me to build that.
We'll do it this year.
Yeah, I've got nothing else going on. We'll
start it now.
I'll just start doing that. Because I get asked this question all the time. I think every I've been asked this, and it just changes so much. I can never decide. But now that I see this, it's going to be put onto the list.
Yeah, I mean, I've got stuff I always want to do, but that's like this. It's probably. It's probably reflected like my choice in what I've done so far, because I've been mince at sewing, but I've never really had the urge to like just knuckle down. And I kind of mentioned to you earlier, I've never sat down with a tutorial and went, okay, let's learn how to stitch. It's never been my thing. But like if there's armor, I'll be like, oh cool, let's give this a go.
Yeah,
and I think ultimately it's because I want to do, the big armor cosplay is the dream, I think.
Cool.
So Nightmare from Soul Calibur. I'll maybe do it when I'm 40.
I think it actually appeared.
Oh, sweet. So that actually worked.
Jody, thanks for that question, Jody. And yeah, it looks amazing. That is a pretty impressive costume.
It'll never happen.
Kind of like that. You never know.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Hi, Murray.
Right.
You're just going to get in the way now, yeah? The beauty of a shared workspace, eh? So a question came in somewhere else. Oh, there we go. So Paul's asked about the Pound Shop Challenge. You seen my Pound Shop Challenge?
I think you like mentioned it, but I don't think I've done it yet.
No, he's not seen it. Okay.
Not seen it,
so when was it? Was it last year or 2 years ago? Me and my buddy Tom here in the workshop. Bye, Murray.
Bye.
Here you go. We basically what we did is a Pound Shop Challenge. This is something I've seen on rpf.com. I'm sure I have to do it every year. I have to do it. I saw it once years ago before Sorenzo Pro. And the whole idea is that you go to a dollar store or a pound store and you buy $10 or £10 worth of stuff, so 10 items.
Okay.
And then you have to turn that into something.
Costume.
So what we did is we did lightsabers, and this was done on the RPF. And the lightsabers out of the cabinet, you've probably seen them.
Oh yeah, I think I have. Yeah.
I can totally
still see it.
Just get your stuff. So
A for effort.
so yeah, we'll be talking about doing this again, but doing it maybe doing a cosplay or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
I definitely think it's a great idea because the pound are awesome. The stuff you can
you can get some stuff there.
But Mike from What You See Here Creative, who was on the show last year, we are going to do a foam helmet thing. So we're going to try and build a foam helmet in a day.
Okay.
So we're going to get that started. Mike, we need to book a date for that. So yeah, we should see about doing a Pound Shop Challenge, something like that.
Yeah, I've been at that.
Because I've got some plans for Pound Shop cosplay-ish stuff to happen in the future. We'll reveal. But I think it'd be amazing to get 5 people and have 5 pounds each, and then just all charge the Pound Shop and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, it's like that. A lot of conventions do the build a mech thing, where they do the cardboard boxes. And a robot cosplay. So
that would be brilliant.
That'd be something that you could do on a run up. So I think
basically you should just harass Kris to take the I welcome all contenders.
So I think some people on the internet would argue that most of my stuff's from Pound Shop material.
True. So there we go. Oh, so Jody's back. I think Jody
mentioned question. Awesome. I like this.
More of a statement here from Jody, and that is your how do you pronounce it? Saiyaman.
Saiyaman
Will up your fave.
Aww.
And second is Renji. And that's because when she first met you.
That is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
We'll get a picture for that for the show as well.
Well,
picture of my Renji, man.
We'll put a link. Have you got it?
I'm gonna. There's something. There was one taken at Okinawa by. I don't know who it was. It was.
It's in your cosplay page somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere because I posted it on a Throwback Thursday. So I'm gonna redo him this year though. I'm gonna redo it at Con.
Right, because I'm not familiar with the character.
This
year.
I
need to look.
Pretty cool, man.
I should have done some research on it before.
Sword badass. Yeah, it's fine.
So here we go. So Mike from What You See Here has just obviously watched it.
Hey, Mike.
He's said that we will do very soon. So we're going to build some foam helmets.
I want to get in on that.
I already know what sort of foam helmet I'm going to build.
Okay. I don't have a.
But
I have a lot of helmet things in the cards.
So there we go. There's notifications happening everywhere. It's crazy. I've got my 16 screens of props that in front here. Reference images up there, blueprints there, 3D renderings there.
It's just the
webcam there. It's insane. We've got some on the roof up there for the sky at night, and it's crazy. So Jay Cosplay, are you familiar with Jay Cosplay?
Jay Cosplay. I don't want to say yes or no.
I only discovered Jay Cosplay. I'll show you Cosplay. That's not how you spell Jay Cosplay.
Jay does not.
There you go. So I discovered him. He's been to KittyCon and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just discovered him a couple weeks ago, and I give him a shout out. So he has got a question.
That's pretty impressive.
Let's see what the question is. Let's select this question. And his question is, hello there, chaps. This might be a handy question for anyone watching. Do you have any recommendations for airbrushes to use or to avoid?
That is all you, because I buy spray paint from
Well, as you know, I got a new Iwata airbrush and compressor for my Christmas. Yeah. And I haven't had time to open it yet. My experience with airbrushes, basically, the cheaper you go, the worse they're going to be. But you don't need to spend crazy money. Some of the Iwata ones are like hundreds of pounds. They're insane. But these are like for professionals for doing makeup and doing all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? But you know, I don't have any sort of particular brands or anything. But if you buy something for like, you know, £5 off Amazon, it's not going to be. It'll squirt out paint, but it just might not do it very well. But then start going into what I'm sort of doing downstairs now with moving into using a compressor, like a large scale compressor and an actual sort of automotive air gun. Again, that's something where you need to be spending quite a lot of money. The gun that I use downstairs, which is not mine, I think is like retails at £300. But this thing is for doing cars, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
It's incredible. But I picked up like sort of entry level Iwata NEO. I think it's about 40-50 quid. And from what I saw on the internet, there was no bad reviews of it. It was like a sort of entry level airbrush, but I need to pull it out and actually play around with it, because it's one thing I've not brushed up my airbrushing skills. But yeah, I'm definitely moving away from the rattle cans, because it's just been having too much trouble with them. So yeah, I
would love to get into it though. I've seen a lot of my friends that have got into stuff now. It looks so much more fun for coating things.
I think you get what you pay for. I think once you get to the sort of 30, 40, 50 pound for the actual airbrush, it'll do a nice job. And don't go spending 300 quid in airbrush, because it's not going to make you any better at airbrushing, you know. So start off simple, but not too simple. Yeah. You know. I think Lidl had one a while ago, which I wanted to get just to see what it would be like. But yeah, if you spend a couple of quid, you're not going to do very well. Yeah. So thanks for that, Jay. And I will use my airbrush, and I'll let you know. I'll send you a message of what it works like. So here we go. So Drizzle Hell, do you know Drizzle Hell? Fern?
No, I don't think so.
No, well, she seems to know you, as she knows me.
Okay.
How are the two? We are very well, thank you very much. Also like to know how you found out about all the upcoming events. How you find out about all the upcoming events and conventions.
Okay.
Well, there is a website that is UK conventions, I think it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's
let me see. Let me just Google this.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different places that I think that you can get this resource from. I think knowing a lot of people tends to be the best way to do it. Or you find out last minute that something's on, and you go, oh great, I can't make it, I'll go next year. Yeah. And then it builds up that way.
Well, here we did a little bit of Googling. So
yeah, there's usually a good list, and it tells you where it is, kind of who hosts it and stuff, and then it gives you links to their web pages, right?
www.comicconventions.co.uk is a comprehensive list of big conventions that are happening all throughout the UK and Ireland. So it's just got basically got a list. Let's see if we can do the screen share. Will we try it? We see
let's screen share.
Let's see if it works. But this will be in the link. Oh, I have to press the share button first. So yeah, there we go. So it's a very simple little website that has got a list of all the conventions.
Oh Jesus! Oh, Fern, right? Okay, so I do know Fern.
All right, you know Fern.
Yeah, because I just got a status. Oh, you do know me, you saw. I'm sorry, I do apologize. No, so I didn't recognize the username.
Oh, that's okay. So there you go. So UK conventions on a local level, it's a little bit different. You need to sort of what I recommended last week was Facebook groups are absolutely brilliant for up and coming events, because that's where people do all of their chatting and talking and sometimes bitching, which is not good. But yeah, Facebook groups, there's lots of different localized ones. There's big ones like the MCM has a one, but that's just got so much activity that's a pain in the ass to actually pay attention to. But there's 4 or 5 Glasgow ones that I follow. A couple of
there's a new Edinburgh Comic Con by Hero Conventions.
Yeah, there's another one there. So yeah, Facebook's a good way to find out, and then just word of mouth, hanging out at conventions. I think like easy to find out what's going on. It's a lot more difficult to find out what's actually good and what's worthwhile going to. Yeah. So I think that you need to get chatting either at conventions or on Facebook in groups and stuff like that. So thanks for that, Fern. Is Fern new to the scene, or?
I met her at Dee Con last year. I was standing behind her in the queue for
Dee Con's a good one to go to.
Yeah, Dee Con was great actually. I went to Dee Con first in 2011. And it was the first convention I went to after Okinawa, and I was very not confused because you have if you've never been to one before, the first convention you go to is always your then preconceived idea of what every convention is going to be like.
Yeah.
And you'll know that you've got like your hotel type conventions, you've got the what's the word I'm kind of looking for, like when like things like Expo and stuff, you go for the day and it's
they're cattle marts.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what to recommend.
Yeah.
Like exhibition center type stuff.
Yeah. That's a nice way of saying it.
So Dee Con was like a mini exhibition type event where like you go along for the day and it's open for like 8 hours maybe, and it's got like vendors, it's got panels, it's got like a masquerade and stuff. There's like a cosplay competition. So I mean they do like quite a lot, and it's free to go. It's held in a union. It's organized by students and stuff. So like as far as conventions go, it's one of my favorite ones to go to in Scotland, and it's all done by people who are like really into it as well. Yeah. Plus it's like free. I mean obviously there's things that you can do to. I think it's free. There's like
free.
There's
free.
things
It's free
you can
event,
do, like
the student union.
Yeah, anything that obviously there's like fundraising things, and I don't know if they do like raffle type things, but all that goes towards the students that put it on. It goes towards the degree show. So it's like you're investing in stuff as well for the guys that belong, which is always nice.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so I'm out of that.
Yeah. But yeah, Bert, ask this guy. He knows what's going on. He knows. Unless you're trying to stay away from it. Don't worry, he tells you what cons he's going to, so you can just not go to
those ones.
Go to the other ones. Yeah,
you save yourself a lot of
issues.
Use
the comic conventions website and Facebook and stuff. Find out where they're going.
Groups are the best thing, word of mouth. So especially for upcoming ones. Like it's a good way to market. If people don't want to like chuck a lot of cash into advertising, if they don't know how things are going to go. Yeah. Word of mouth on like groups and stuff's the best way to do it.
And there's always new stuff happening, and I know for a fact there's going to be very, very exciting new stuff happening in Scotland this year. So I'm sure one of us will tell you about that very soon. So let's see, we've got more questions. So Jay, as said, thanks very much. The show is going well. Thanks for tuning in again, Jay.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Okay, so Fern's asked another question, and it's let me read this. What are your opinions on materials like Warbler, EVA foam, and epoxy resin? Do you prefer making things by hand, or would you use a 3D printer if you were giving access to one? Okay, so what's your opinion on these? Let's start.
Okay, so I've used about half of those, and I would like to get into more, which we discussed earlier when we were down in the workshop. So I've used foam and I've used Warbler for making things, and it's a great process. It was good to begin with as a learning curve, and when I realized what I knew I could do within like my own skill limits. And I still want to push it more. I mean, a lot of people make a lot of fantastic stuff out of foam and Warbler.
Yeah.
And I'd love to make some like really nice armor type based stuff. Like lots of people like Kamui. Even Jessica Nigri's got like some really good armor stuff that she's putting in, like our battle Elsa.
Yeah.
Like was amazing, absolutely amazing.
I just saw one on Instagram last night, and I don't know what it was from, but I just
but it's great. I love that when it's like a main color and you've got like the trim and everything, and it looks really nice. But I mean, I don't have anything that I want to make. Do it, so I wouldn't drop the cash on it for no reason. But but yeah, I liked making stuff, but then again, it kind of came back to what we touched on earlier, that if I can see that someone can commission something, and I know it's going to be better than what I can make, then I'd like to spend the cash on giving it a go, so that you can kind of learn from it. But if I know I'd probably, if I've got a deadline, or if I know that I'm probably going to waste more money on trying to make it than it would be, then I'll maybe just go for the commission first, and then at some point, I'm assuming I'm going to cross that bridge. When it's convenient. But so I kind of go through both.
Because you've given quite a broad range of materials there. Because you've got Warbler, EVA foam, epoxy. I don't know if epoxy resin is actually quite a specialist substance. You actually need a special license to get it delivered and stuff. So it's not something that's advertised freely on the internet. But resins in general are quite fun to work with, but resin needs silicon. But they all serve a different purpose. Warbler can do different things. Foam, it can do different things to foam, but not do very different things. And then resins are something completely different. Again, you can get epoxies. This might be what you mean. Epoxies that coat Warbler and resin and make them a little bit more rigid, which a lot of the guys in America seem to be doing now. And you can get that stuff here in the UK. It's a little hard to work with. 3D printing. Well, I actually have a 3D printer. Well, I don't own it, but I have access to a 3D printer, and I have made some pieces on it. And it really depends. You've seen the 3D printer,
yeah?
I'm working on a couple of little personal projects with a 3D printer, and I have 3D printed some parts for my props. As to make something completely out of a 3D printer, I don't really think so, because I like getting getting dirty and getting in there and making it from getting a block of foam and all of a sudden having an amazing helmet.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't shy away from technology because it does have its purpose. If you need to make something really different, really detailed, really accurate, making it by hand could take hours, days, weeks. So making it 3D printed could save you a lot of time.
Yeah.
But definitely
stress as well.
The way I see it with all these materials that you've mentioned and all these techniques of 3D printer, they all serve a purpose and they all have a use. And one of the most common questions I have when I get asked when I tell people what I do, they're like, "Oh, what material do you use?" And I'm kind of like,
"Here's a list."
I just I use anything.
Literally,
I will go to the party shop and buy some junk, and use that, and I will never limit myself, but like the majority of the stuff I do is silicon. You saw today making the mold silicon and polyurethanes, So yeah, they all got like different purposes, different ideas. Yeah, we're running out of time. I love how just time.
Oh wow, there's only 10 minutes left.
I know. It's just like, so. Thanks for that, Fern. Okay, so here we go. So Jay's got another question. Something I wanted to ask last week. Where did I get my Daft Punk helmets chrome? Having trouble finding anywhere in the UK that will do it. And what's the price like? I might need chrome. Just moved. Don't move. I might need the chrome version of his NCR helmet for giggles. This is I can't answer that basically.
That's insider information, and I have to harvest organs to get elevated to a level which to be able to disclose
you need to learn my super secret handshake before you can get permission. No, basically with the Daft Punk helmets, that has been a sort of long and winding road, and the guys I'm currently using have basically asked me not to send people to them because we've had so many different problems, and because I'm doing it on a sort of a commercial level, getting it done quite regularly. The last thing they want is for somebody to give them a helmet and for them to encounter some problems, and then they've spent a couple of £100 getting it chromed and it's not perfect and they've not prepared it right. So they said basically don't be sending folk our way, which is completely understandable because they're running a business, and the last thing they want is for some 18-year-old kid who doesn't know how to sand the helmet properly to get a crap chrome job, and then someone will come back to me or someone will go back to them.
Yeah, damage their reputation as well when they're not in massive creative control.
So it's a bit of a difficult one.
Yeah, so, it's understandable though.
There are places, I know the last time I looked, there were places that were looking into doing it. There are places that will do it that I have had problems with. So again, I'm not going to recommend them. But chroming is a nightmare, and my recommendation is to stay the fuck away from it.
Yeah, the best way to do it is don't.
Yeah, I was kind of glad when Daft Punk released the Grammy helmets because they were just white, and I was like, I can do that. I thought they looked shit, but I can do that,
I can live with this.
So yeah, unfortunately I can't tell you where, but it's a tough one, and I would recommend staying.
So we're getting different things on email. Remember, we were getting stuff on email.
I don't think so. I think everyone's.
Just so we're not getting.
No, we're not. We're all good. We're all good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so here we go. Dominic Murphy, thanks for tuning in, Dominic. And his next big con is LFCC, where I'm taking Nightwing.
Awesome.
Are you going to see you there, Kris? And if so, will you be showcasing?
LFCC. I see. I've not planned for it. I think that's in July, right?
July. I think
it's June or July.
Yeah,
I think it is.
That's the one in the other place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Earl's. Well, no, it's not in Earl's Court this time. I think. I can't remember.
I shall Google it.
Knows the short answer.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Japan Expo last year because I wanted to go to LFCC to meet Stan Lee.
It's in the Olympia.
Okay.
It's a Showmasters one.
And then I ended up not going to LFCC because I couldn't afford it, and I went to Manchester Expo instead. But this year, I really want to make sure I go to Japan Expo. A whole bunch of my friends are going, and I want to go to Paris.
That's in Paris.
Yeah. I just want to go to Paris, and I want to.
Cosplay in a different language.
Yeah, totally. It was weird, and my friend took a lot of pictures from last time, and there's a lot of cosplayers from Europe that I'm a big fan of, like Philippe, Leon. I'm trying to think of who else goes to those events from over there. But I really want to go over there and then just experience what a convention's like over there, because I was always more into the conventions to begin with than I was the cosplay. So I'd like to go and experience what conventions like somewhere else, but then also see what not like the standard of cosplay. That sounds really snobbish, but the standard of cosplay, to see like what kind of things other people will be doing, because what it's like, community based. You're going to have like almost like a standard of what's going to, because everyone's going to be learning from each other and stuff. So there will be like a standard, I guess. But so yeah, LFCC is not going to happen because I really want to go to Japan. He
just messaged and he.
LFCC. Okay, cool. So I'm good with that. I'm taking Star-Lord, which will be good fun. We were part of a massive group, and unfortunately, a lot of people have dropped because they've got like other plans, and some people were going in to do like the championships and stuff, which is understandable. But yeah, I'm going down with that. I'm going to take Star-Lord. My missus Swift Cosplay is going to do Gamora.
I've got something to show you downstairs after the show. Actually,
I think
you know, have you seen it?
Yeah. You're bringing it with you. And my friend Lady Noctis is doing Nebula, which I'm really excited for. Yeah. She's doing. I think she's doing a whole spray paint. I think this is where this all ties in. I think she was looking to do like spray paint, body paint. Yeah. Airbrush. Sorry. Brush. Yep. But
would be the way to do it.
I can't remember who else is on the group because, like I said, a lot of people have kind of dropped out and other people have got added. But yeah, Star-Lord's going, and then day 2, we check out our hotel on the Sunday. We're just going to kick about. So I don't know if I'm going to take anything else. I might take Red Hood as a backup, but we don't fancy like having to get ready in a toilet for Red Hood, like with a mask and the spirit gum and everything. So. Yeah. But yeah, so maybe Red Hood as a backup. Yeah. If you're doing Nightwing on the Sunday, that would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Cool. Star-Lord's a Saturday plan.
Oh, I forget who asked that question, but thank you.
That was
Dominic, was it?
Dominic, yeah, Dominic Murphy, right?
I selected that.
So yeah, thanks, man.
Question. But yeah, I will be LSCT as well. I don't know what I'm doing yet. But...
Decide like a week before. That's how.
I know what I'm doing, but I can't say.
I started Star-Lord ages ago, and I've still got bits to finish.
I can't say.
And I'll start it in a fortnight or something.
So Jody has just messaged saying thanks for the Dee Con boost, Kris. And are you coming this year?
Yeah, I'm going to be there. There's some stuff that I've discussed with people that I don't think I can talk about. But yeah, more on that. I'll put the stuff on the page when it's happening.
I'm just waiting for Dee Con to call me.
yeah.
You know where I am, right here on the internet.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm doing some stuff, which will be cool. It should be chat related. I'm not really going to give too much away because I don't want to ruin it if I'm not announced anything yet. But yeah, no, it's going to be good. It's one of my favorites, and it's really nice for like a Scottish community to get together.
I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I didn't go last year simply because I found out last minute and the trains were like crazy money. But I'm
driving this year.
I'm really hoping that I can get up and see what's going on, see what it's all about.
The only negativity I've ever heard is like, oh man, it's so busy.
That
is like, oh no, that's such a shame.
Yeah. Like, well, I don't know, like you go to like MCM and you're kind of like, I don't want to stand inside.
Yeah, like MCM is like you're just like sardines packed into this tin. But like Dee Con's busy, but it's not like it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Like I don't get why you could complain that there's a massive geek culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you turned up and there was like 100 people and you'd be like, oh, this is a bit shit, it's so quiet, there's nothing going on.
It's a weird.
There's enough to keep everyone busy and you can hang out outside as long as there's not
there's a lot happening in Scotland and indeed the UK this year, and I'm very much looking forward to hopefully get into a lot of them.
Yeah. I had a lot of chat today on my personal Facebook about the Scottish scene and how it's getting a lot better. And this year, I'm going to try and have a lot more encouragement from people because there's so many talented people out there. There's so many people that have like bust into it, and everything's just getting bigger and better.
Yeah.
And if anyone's watching that like commented on the thing today, it's like it's just all about making more of a big deal up here. Because when I first started, England was the place to be.
Yep.
And England had all the conventions and all the guests and all the cool stuff, and they had a nice like a good cosplaying community and stuff. And it's like we've got the resources up here, and like before we started talking, I mean, you obviously had that group of people like Mike, like Ian that runs Big Glasgow Comic Page and stuff, and that was all like a thing.
Yeah.
And then like I was kind of like all the kind of like anime cosplayers and stuff, and those groups like didn't know about each other.
Yeah.
But Scotland's tiny.
I didn't know them for a couple of months before I knew you. You know,
exactly.
It's just like everything kind of like just came together.
It came clashing.
Even from the likes of this show, there's people popping in from different Facebook groups and stuff, and we need something to get everyone together. We need to try and do our own thing.
A big event. I mean,
not just wait for MCMs because I don't know. Some people seem to like MCM if that's your thing. If you want to go for merchandise and for celebrities and stuff like that. But just the like when you go down to London for MCM and everybody's hanging out at the front. You don't need a ticket. You just cosplay at the front of the steps as long as the sun's shining, which is not always guaranteed in this part of the world.
It's way more community because like MCM is very like when I first started going, I used to spend a lot of cash there. Even up until like a year ago, I mean, I remember I went and I just got into figures,
I spent a lot of cash.
Yeah, I spent about £400 the last time I went. Like, yeah. The Fox took about 50% of my wage.
The Fox is the bar outside the XL.
They ran out of alcohol on the Saturday night. On the Saturday night, they ran out of alcohol. I had to have like an amaretto with lemonade because that's all they had left. It's like, I'll have a Jack and Coke. And it's like, oh, there's no
got my vodka.
Yeah, there's no Jack. Oh, okay, I'll have something and Coke. There's none of that either. It's like,
literally nothing. But I think I was like searching the bar and I found some bottles of cider or stuff.
It's like I don't know what that is, but just give me that.
But there's I don't know, we have a nice wee chat there a lot about the sort of local scene and the more extended scene in the UK. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening this year. The community, the group, the chords, and people were always there, like you said about your first time going. The people were always there, just like finding this sort of outlet, this excuse to go to something, someone to tag along with, and encouragement. And like, there's lots of groups out there, like the CSM, the Big Plasma Comic Book page, and all the conventions have their own little Facebook group now where you can get support and you can ask people advice. And the most important thing is to just do it, just get out there and put on a costume. Because I only started doing Sorenzo props 3 years professionally, 5 years making stuff, and I knew about conventions, I knew about Comic Cons. And I would not go to them because I didn't want to hang out with those weirdos. Fact, guilty. Look at those.
Now we have to.
Look at those idiots dressing up in the middle. It's not even Halloween. What are they doing? And now I'm just kind of like, shit. When can I dress up again? I want to dress up. I want to dress up. Yeah. I think I got dressed up in the flat like on my own with a cat a couple of days ago. Just like, I'll just put this on for a bit.
I love doing cosplay tests in my house and then going downstairs and watching my dogs freak out. And I've got like the mask on and the face paint from eyes and the big wig on and stuff, and my dogs are just like, who the fuck are you?
Right, we're running over time, which is a shame because we're just
no, fun, man.
But
it's good though.
People still watching, but we're gonna have to finish it.
Yeah, of course.
And
you're here at the Sorenzo Props. It's now hit 1 a.m.
Yeah, we're got another pot of coffee on the go. We're gonna keep going. It's 24-hour. We're gonna do that. A 24-hour Sorenzo Props show.
Yeah. Like, we're hitting the late night stuff now. We just dim the lights.
We set up
smooth jazz on.
We set up people to come in every hour for guests.
Yeah,
we can do a marathon,
like a hot seat thing.
Yeah, we can have challenges. People have to go over there and make some stuff and then come back like an hour later.
I was thinking challenges like alcohol based challenges. No cosplay related. No, that makes more sense. That makes much more sense.
Did you watch the video from the Sorenzo Cross party last year?
I think it did. Was that the one I couldn't make because I was working? Like,
we were all a little bit drunk talking. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
So
booze and web feeds don't work very well. Don't work.
There's a particular clientele for those kind of.
I don't care. I had a good time. I had a good time. So, last question. Oh, there we go. It's Farron. Take care. Good luck. Thanks for tuning in, Farron. Thanks for all your questions. Top question asker of the night. So, So this was Kris from Asakura. So search Facebook, Asakura. How do you spell that?
ASAKURA.
Did you forget there?
I did. I was thinking of a funny joke of putting the ass in Asakura.
You put the ass in Asakura.
Yeah, you can take that whichever way you want. I do have a fantastic booty, but I'm also a bit of a knob end.
So check out his stuff. Check out his Facebook page. All the links will be in the YouTube video if you're watching later on. And I am Tom from Sorenzo Props. Of course, go check me out. You know who I am. And everything that we spoke about tonight will be listed in the YouTube description. And keep an eye on my page for the next show, which will be happening. I don't know when. I have no one lined up. I might just do one myself for it.
Yeah, we'll make
But I want to thank. I think it was like an average of like 10 people.
People coming out and coming back.
So that's quite nice. We're getting bigger. The first one there was 3.
Okay,
so the microphone didn't work.
There's just 3 people watching.
And I was like, why are you talking? We can't hear you. So we're getting a lot better. And the screen share seemed to work as well this week.
Yes, that's good. So technology is definitely improving.
So thank you those 10 or 11 people. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Kris's mom.
Thanks, Mom, stepdad, brothers, gran. The only my gran works in internet, so it's. I don't think she knows that she can't. Yeah, I'm not going to. That's all, the whole technology thing going on here. I'm not going to get into that.
But cheers to that, guys. Until next time. See you later.
See you guys later.
And now we press stop. You can swear now.